just things that you wouldn't know about unless you really dig into it. Oh, and we're off already. So we have a bingo card should be coming up here shortly. You can see already MassHesteria has been forced to do column 1, and Beeps has been forced to do column 5.
Yeah, so why don't you talk us through this real quick, Rumble? We got two completely different columns. What is MassHesteria going to be having to do here, and what do you think are kind of the problem areas?
Yeah, I was actually looking at column 1 before we started, and I think it's a pretty good choice. 25 plus power bombs. That's not too bad. That's basically Brinstar power bomb cleanup. 11 plus energy tanks, and that's a lot. That's going to send them all over the place, especially combined with the next cell here, which is collect ice beam and skip speed booster. And you might ask, well, that doesn't seem related at all. But skipping speed booster means you can't get the energy tank under charge, which really limits your options. There's only 14 energy tanks. You can't get the one at Waterway, so you can skip 2 energy tanks in the entire game, which means you're basically doing everything except Dragon and Batwoon, or everything except Ridley and Firefly.
Yeah,
so that's
and
gonna send all over.
yeah, for sure. And on top of that, the 3+ reserve tanks, if he can't pick up speed booster, then he's forced to pick up every reserve tank in the game other than the one at wrecked ship. So he will have to get the one in Green Brinstar in Upper Norfair and the Meridia reserve tank, which most of the time people try to avoid getting the Meridia reserve if they can. It's a little bit of a slow one, but yeah, we'll see what he chooses to pair with it and how it goes. In the meantime, let's take a look at BPS's row or column here. What do you notice about it?
Well, the first thing I noticed is collect only one of Varia or Gravity, along with Spring Ball, right? So that essentially means get Gravity, do Wreck Ship first. No matter how good you are at the game, Wreck Ship first is dangerous. So that's going to definitely be something to watch out for. Beeps is definitely a good enough runner to do it, but it can be scary. We also have 100 plus missiles, which is a lot of item fanfare. It's not a lot of routing problems. It's pretty easy to route in 100 missiles. There's 50 really available ones in Brinstar just as you kind of go through. And then if you're doing either, if you're doing Wreck Ship and Meridia, which he will have to be doing, there's another 50 to pick up throughout there. All 5 Brinstar energy tanks. I don't think that one's too bad. The ceiling E-Tank is a little bit annoying to come back. He will have to go get speed, though, which will lock him out of a lot of rows and columns on this card.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I actually kind of like how both of the runners chose to select columns here. It's going to be really interesting to see how they pair. One thing in particular, BPS is forced, as you mentioned, to get either Various Suit or Gravity Suit, but he pretty much has to get Gravity Suit because of Spring Ball. So even though BPS is, definitely familiar with going over the moat and fighting Fantoon early, I don't care who you are, that's always something that brings a certain amount of danger to the run. So hopefully nothing bad will happen to him, but that's especially in a tournament setting. Anytime you got to do that, it's a little bit on the nerves. So we'll see how he handles that when he gets to it.
Yeah, and looking at rows and columns to pair with their rows, I'm looking at row 2 for MassHesteria. It is essentially a repeat of everything he has to do already, aside from only getting 1 suit. So if he can either get by with only getting Varia, which would be pretty tough, but is definitely doable, or if he could do Wreck Ship first, that row 2 is essentially a duplicate of everything he has to do already.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna skip Varia because he's got to get that Meridia reserve, which would be pretty difficult to get suitless. It's not something I think he would want to do personally. But he also, MassHesteria is not somebody who does a lot of, a ton of randos and stuff. He doesn't practice early moat and early Fantoon very much. And so I don't think, like, if he chose to do row 2, I don't think he would actually go there early. I think he'd go down and actually hell run and get some extra items and then go back up. We'll have to wait and see. But at the same time, I don't know if he'll choose to do that or not. I'm a big fan of runners doing what they're comfortable with. I think when you start trying to do things that you're not accustomed to, that's when you get in trouble. So I don't know how he's going to route it. We'll find out. But either way, I think he will do something that he feels comfortable with instead of trying something that he normally doesn't do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thinking about beeps, what he might end up pairing with it actually, just as a quick glance, column 2 actually looks pretty good since he has to get Spring Ball anyway. I'm pretty sure he doesn't need grapple. I'm sure he knows the ice clip. Brinstar Missile Recharge Stations is really just running down to Kraid. Brinstar Reserve is easy. He's got to go to Wreck Ship anyway, and then he can just pick up Charge Beam.
All right, so both runners doing their BT fight here. BluePlasmaSpark wrapping his up pretty quickly, and Mass gonna sit here and be careful with his missiles. I think he's got 2 missiles left, and that should wrap up BT. There we go. And Beeps is coming up on the first sort of sequence break of a normal traditional run. This is Alcatraz, very nice.
It's an important 8 seconds that you save there.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but when I first started playing this game, it took me a while to get that for the first time. I kept trying, and I failed numerous times.
Yeah, I feel like it's the trick everybody, even before they try to get early supers, everybody wants to get Alcatraz because the first speedrun you ever see of Super Metroid, it's so cool and it's such an interesting thing that you never thought to do that you just want to be able to do it. At least for me, that's how I was.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, we got Mass going down to grab these missiles. What do you think he's thinking right now?
Could be looking at doing row 3 maybe. He wants to get more missiles. I don't... there's nothing that says specifically to collect criteria missiles unless I missed something. So he could be looking to do row 3.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Oh wait, no, he can't do that. That S2 finish is in it. So
Oh, you're right, yeah.
I'm not sure why he's picking up criteria missiles there. Unless he just wanted more missiles.
Well, we'll find out. In the meantime, Beeps is heading back over to grab the Brinstar Reserve here. Is that on his thing here?
It is not, but he does need to get 100 missiles, and this room has 2 of them, and another one on the way out. So I could see, just for sheer efficiency, picking these missiles up for the 100 missiles.
For sure. I wonder if he's going to grab this reserve and use it for whatever else he chooses to do. We'll find out.
Yeah, I think that's a good pickup from Beeps, as we talked about Wreck Ship early being so dangerous, and I do think he will go Wreck Ship first. Having that reserve is invaluable. Oh, barely misses that mock ball out. That's a fun mock ball to get.
Yeah, that's a tough strat. Luckily, he's able to jump through here, get a fast fall, and he's gonna jump. He did this last run too. Actually, his last Abbey, he jumped fast enough to get up to the top, saved a few seconds. He doesn't have to bomb the bottom, so good job. Mass is certainly going to turn around here and go grab this reserve tank at minimum, because he's got to get every reserve tank in the game except for the one at Wreck Ship, since he cannot pick that one up since he won't have speed booster. So that's 1 out of the 3 down, and it'll be quite a while before he gets the other 2.
I guess if he really wanted to, he could carry a blue suit from Dragon or something crazy and go get it. But I doubt he's thinking about that.
No, I don't think that's going to be something we see.
Beeps did skip the Brinstar missile recharge. He has to come back through this area anyway, so that doesn't really tell us anything, but it might have been something he would have picked up had he been doing column 2.
Yeah, and grabbing his charge beam. Charge beam is, in many ways, one of the most powerful items in the game. You don't really realize how much you miss it until you don't have it. However, in Dab, usually it's a little bit more of a comfort item, because unless you're forced to go fight Ridley, or in this case you're never forced to fight Mother Brain, charge beam's effectiveness is greatly reduced in Dab versus traditional categories. Sometimes people will get it to have safety against Crocomire, but even against Crocomire, if you collect enough ammo along the way, you typically don't need it. So but I'm a big proponent of grabbing charge. I get it just about every time.
Yeah, and you can definitely there has been some mistakes made, in the tournament of people forgetting that they don't have charge, or running out of ammo on Croc, or having to do different routes because they accidentally picked up charge when they wanted to skip it. And we do see Beeps going up here and also doing a little bit of farming to fill up his reserve.
Yeah, I think this is a smart call by him. Once again, like I said earlier, I'm very confident that Beeps can handle a power suit Fantoon fight. However, there's nobody on this planet who has, fought Fantoon every single time and never died. So we've even seen people in this tournament already die at Fantoon. So it's a good idea.
Oh, there he is.
I'm having a little bit of trouble with my restream. Okay, there we go. 1 second.
Yeah, I just refreshed too. I was having a little lag as well.
Looks like Mass is grabbing his Spazer Beam. At least that's what it looked like. Yeah, okay. I like that decision. That's a good call.
Yep.
Beeps appears to be on his way up after grabbing his power bomb pack, and he's going to open up this orange door here so that when he returns later, he can go back through that door. Although, I wonder, depending on what his routing he chooses to do, he doesn't necessarily have to come back down here. So we'll see. We'll see what he chooses to do.
Yeah, he could actually, if he was a little bit worried about wreck ship first, actually go around and clean up Brinstar now, pick up his 5 Brins, most of his... I guess he has to come back with speed, so that would be a little bit wasteful.
True. Notice he did not... I don't think he opened that door, did he, down there?
He did not, so he's planning to go straight through Brinstar afterwards. Although he won't be able to get that last energy tank, unfortunately.
I hope he doesn't forget that he has power bombs equipped, because if he drops his power bomb... Okay. Sometimes people will accidentally not unequip power bombs right there. He's going for a horizontal bomb jump, and unfortunately a little off, and falls into the moat for the first time. So let's see how many times it takes him to get over. This is why, again, it doesn't matter how good you are. Everybody can make mistakes at the moat. We've all fallen in. So this is why this can be... only get one suit can be a very powerful square, because sometimes it can eat up a lot of time if people take a while to get over the moat.
Yeah, and that one suit square is, I would say, 80% of the time means get gravity and do wreck ship first.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough to complete a double anti-bingo without gravity.
I agree.
Ooh, there he goes. Very nice CWJ over the moat.
Oh, I think my stream's a little behind.
Oh, sorry for the spoilers.
That's okay. Good to see him get across. So now he will make his way. There it is. There it is on my screen. In the meantime, MassHesteria, I think, is trying to wrap up his Kraid fight. Is he?
He needs to be a little bit careful here. He's out of supers now, and he's down to 52 health. Kraid is almost dead, but that 52 health does go pretty quickly here if you fall. All right, he's got his arm locked down now, and okay, now Kraid's dead. Worry over. All right, BPS is going to pick up these missiles. Nothing forcing him to pick up wreck ship missiles, so likely just to try to get those 100 missiles that he needs. And MassHesteria is going to be visiting the Brinstar missile recharge station here, which suggests that he might be going row 1, actually. Could be row 1 or column 2. Both are pretty good for him. Well, Cluck Spring Ball's not great, but he has to get the reserve anyway.
Beeps did a really interesting thing here. He dropped his last power bomb to farm the atoms and the ghost. He actually got 60 health before going into Fantoon. I like the call. The only sort of scary thing about that is if he gets trolled by Fantoon and doesn't get any power bomb drops, he'll have to go a little bit slower on his way out of wreck ship to for some of the strats, because some of them require some power bombs. So we got a left fast to open the first round. Looks like he probably got about 6 total missiles in that round.
Yeah, the
now
good
it
news
looks
is
like left slow.
He has plenty of missiles to make up for lack of power bombs as well.
Yeah, for sure. And okay, Looks like Beeps is about to maybe have a 3-round here, and looks like I think Mass just skipped the various suit, so I would
Ooh.
assume he is going to Hell Run, and I would guess he is probably going to do Row 2, like you mentioned.
I think that's a good call for him. I think with the extra crate energy tank, right? You don't like it's sort of RBO, but not really RBO because you can get the crate energy tank and the high jump tank. So it's actually a fairly reasonable hell run to get through there. It'll be a little slow to go and get speed, which I think is probably the item he wants most.
Well, he
he
can't
has
get
to skip speed.
so I bet he's going to go to grapple. I bet he'll kill Croc and get grapple so he can get across to the wreck.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good decision. Again, if you're not, if you're someone who doesn't spend a ton of time trying to do the moat and stuff like that, there's really no point in trying to do it, live in a tournament when you don't normally do it. So I think this is a good call for him. Plus, he gets the Crocomire tank.
Yeah, that's actually just what I was going to call out. Is he basically needs to get the Crocky tank, unless he's going to skip Dragon and go down to Ridley at the end. Like I said, he can skip 2 E-tanks, so I don't think Croc is going to be one of the skips. It looks like Beeps is going to get the Wreckship map station, which is starting to strongly suggest that he's doing column 2.
I agree.
I think that's a really good call. The only thing out of the way for him is the Brinstar missile recharge stations, one of which is over by Crate.
Mass about to save his game here, so clearly he's about to do a hell run. He's also going to need to pick up Ice Beam. I imagine he will do that before he does the hell run. That would be my guess anyway. Oh, guess not. Maybe he'll do it on the way out. There's not really much reason to get ice this early anyway. He doesn't have to go up Bubble Mountain. He literally is just going to be going down. Unless he wants to get wave, but I think he knows how to do the blue gate glitch. So we'll have to wait and see.
He will need to go get the reserve.
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah.
Ooh, taking a hit from the fire bat there. See if he manually refills his reserves here. All right, he makes it though. 34 energy to spare.
He's alive. That's all that matters. Let's get a save here. All right. In the meantime, Beeps is over here looking like he's going to grab some missiles here from... Technically, these are Criteria missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, people get it confused and think they're wreck ship missiles. They are not. So he's going to grab some of those to up his count.
Oh, and I actually really like this call. I think Mass is going to head down to Croc first.
Yeah, I think it's a good call.
Which is a much quicker refill than farming anything. Oh, I guess I was wrong. He's not. He's going up. He's just refilling, just farming enemies down here.
Yeah, he's just trying to get some health. He needs to have enough health to make it down to that. There's like some bugs, down there.
Mm-hmm.
And but you can die on the way. So there's really only like one room left, because I assume if he makes it past that room, more than likely he's going to head down to get the Nutella refill before he heads over to...
Yeah, and BPS makes it through bowling. That's another scary portion. Without Varia suit, take a lot of damage from those spikes.
Yeah, he got over cleanly, only got hit twice there. And he's going to grab his gravity suit and be on his way. I don't think he'll go pick up this missile pack over here. I wouldn't, but, if he wants to, that's obviously perfectly fine.
Ooh, he makes it.
Nice job by Mass there. Good job. Also, the Spazer Beam's coming in handy here. Oh, he is going to grab this missile pack. Okay. That'll be one less pack that he'll have to pick up elsewhere as he's cleaning up other areas of the game. Mass has 20 tries over here to get this gate glitch. And the good news is, even if it goes very poorly, he can immediately farm back up. Ooh, BPS almost ran by the gravity suit. For anybody who's not aware, that is something that is a very real possibility. It can happen. And if it does, then you are forced to run all the way back through Wreck Ship, all the way back through bowling. It's excruciatingly slow, excuse me. So it looks like he's going to grab this missile pack here at the bottom of the ocean as well. Good call. Oh, I hear some pups.
That's the beagle shaking it out.
Yeah. What's he up to today?
Oh, the usual: sleeping on the chair, sleeping on the couch, sleeping in the lawn.
What a life.
Yeah. Come on, MassHesteria, you can got this. There he goes, first try.
He's farming here. Actually, in my opinion, I think it would be better yeah, okay, now he's gonna, I think he was just farming for some missiles. I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna get down here and then hit up the refill. It's not very slow. It only takes about 10 seconds or so. And it makes everything a lot safer. So I like that call. In the meanwhile, BPS is going to be doing some Brinstar cleanup here shortly. Tell us a little bit about all the, there's like a plethora of items in the Brinstar cleanup portion of any run. What all's down there, Rumble?
Yeah. So he's got the 5 energy tanks that he has to get. There's also plenty of missiles and supers on the way, power bombs. I doubt he'll bother getting really any power bombs. He'll also run by the statue, go to visit Golden 4, destroy one statue to knock that tile out. We'll also see 50% or 75%, depending on how you're counting, of the animals for those animal lovers out there.
That's a good point. And I like what Beeps is doing here. I think for a moment he considered going straight down to Blue Brinstar to get that energy tank, because he has to get that one in the ceiling, but he remembered that he had to destroy a statue. And so he went ahead and came straight down to Torian. I imagine he will then hit up Blue Brinstar when he gets back to Green Hills here in a few minutes after the other collection he's got to do. There's nothing that, well, actually, you know, I don't like to be critical of runners. You know, I think everybody, you know, plays the best they can and makes the best decisions that they can based on what they know how to do. I do find the decision to come to Pink Brinstar and stuff right now to be a little less efficient than it could have been, because he has to pick up the waterway E-tank and he cannot get it until he gets Speed Booster. So all the stuff that he's doing over here, he's going to have to come back again. But there could be he might be doing this on purpose. Like he might be planning to finish somewhere. I don't know. I haven't really looked super closely at what all he's going to do. So it might not be a big deal. He might just come back later near the end of the run to grab that last energy tank.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any finish one. The only other one he has to do in column 2 is the missile recharge station by Kraid, which is, you know, not really close. But also, there's not really a great efficient way to do it. Like, it'll provide him a lot of safety as he goes into Meridia, more ammo, more health. So maybe he just wanted to do it that way. Yeah,
maybe so. I feel like technically it would have been possible to go down Red Tower first and just straight into Norfair, and then come back here before going to Meridia. But you know, once again, it all comes down to what you want to do. Mass, unfortunately, missing all those green gate glitches. He's gonna have to go down and do probably an infinite bomb jump up here to get to the grapple beam, which I think is a good call.
Yeah, he doesn't have any other options. He doesn't have speed. He does have high jump, but I think you need speed to be able to make it up there without anything crazy.
Yes, it did. That super did go through the gate. That happens from time to time.
Don't think too hard about it. It's really more of the gate is really more of a suggestion than a law.
Correct. As Morpheus once said, some rules can be bent, others broken, right?
That's right. There is no spoon. There is no gate, except when you want to walk through.
Beeps is going to have to do some rando tech here. It's not technically rando tech. It's used in other categories of Super Metroid, but it's something that people have to do a lot in randos. He's going to have to glitch this gate, and he gets it first try. Excellent job.
Yeah, just another example of a suggestion gate.
Meanwhile, Mass probably going to farm for a second up here to get some more super missiles. would be my guess. Gets a pretty kind farm there. Got 3 supers on the first 2. Now he's full. That's good. And meantime, Beep's heading over to. He can't go down here right now because he doesn't have speed booster. So instead, he's going to head over to Blue Brinstar. Just barely has enough power bombs. He needs 1 to open this door, but he'll have another pack of power bombs here shortly when he gets to the other side of this wall.
Yeah, I'm sort of surprised that he didn't just come back later when he probably will have speed.
Well, I kind of feel like he's already committed to it. He's here. He's got to do everything other than the waterway.
Yeah, he just has to come back anyway for waterway. And he did have to oh no, he gets power bombs there. I guess it's fine. Either way, it's kind of a wash.
Yeah, he's fine. But yeah, as we pointed out, looks like Mass is making the decision to do, what was it, row? What was it?
Row 2.
Did we decide he was doing? Row 2. So that's why he does not have the Various suit. He will be going now to wreck ship to collect his gravity suit. And yeah, that's the only kind of tough part about that row. It was really good to select that to go with everything else. Is he should basically just got to do what he normally has to do.
Mm-hmm.
I also like what Beeps is doing here. He is going up for 2 missile packs. That's 10 total missiles up here in the Billy Mays room. Rumble, why do we call it the Billy Mays room?
Okay, because if you see here, we've got a missile pack for you. And
yeah, it's a nice
fine
missile pack.
It's very nice. And if you call right now, but wait, there's more, we'll give you another missile pack.
Oh my God! How can I possibly pass up this deal? Where is my phone? I need to make a call immediately.
All right, MassHesteria gets out of there with 25 health, making me a little bit worried.
Oh, he's doing the bomb tech. I love it.
I love it. I used this tech, by the way, when I first started running. I remember
Me
doing
too.
that.
Good times.
That is done, by the way, if you hold a charge shot and then morph and just wait. The bombs will come out, and that one bomb will bounce exactly to the right spot to explode and destroy that block.
Yeah, and by wait, he means you have to hold down. You have to hold the down button the whole time. If you let it go, it won't work. So if you just hold charge and then hold the down button, you'll get a bomb explosion. It's quite cool. Beeps in the meantime, I would assume probably going to go to Norfair, grab his speed booster, and then maybe some other items. I don't know if... I think Beeps is pretty familiar with the ice clip to spring ball, so I don't really think he'll probably go to Crocomile.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go to Croc, and I don't think he'll kill another boss. He doesn't need to go to Dragon or Bot Wound. He should be able to skip all of those things and get plenty of missiles. He's going to... Oh, he's filling up on power bombs, maybe.
Yeah, pretty good call. Meanwhile, Mass making great use of the ice beam. I love the ice beam. It's so neat. Get to freeze things, jump on top of them, chill. No pun intended.
Would you say it's a nice beam?
I would call it a very nice beam. It's my favorite beam, so I'm a big fan.
Well, I know low percent ice is your favorite category, so that makes sense.
Yeah, the only reason is because of the ice beam.
I thought maybe it was the second energy tank that made you like it so much.
Oh yeah, that crate tank, man, it's beautiful.
I would see Beeps picking up Spazer as well.
The Spark Beam, let's go Spark Beam.
I guess I'm guessing that is for the ice tech to spring ball, because he doesn't really need it for anything else. But you do want, I think, either Spazer or Wave to make the Puyo freeze a little bit more consistent.
Correct. That is the exact reason. It's a lot more difficult, I guess, depending on your setup. Personally, when I do the ice clip, I prefer to have Spazer as well. So I think that's a really good call for beeps. And to be honest with you, Spazer is not a super slow pickup. It's only one door transition, a couple bombs. I mean, it doesn't really take that long to pick up.
Mhm.
So I think that's a good call. It's definitely faster to pick it up than it is to pick up Wave.
Yeah, and I totally lied about no bosses because I forgot he had to get the Crate tank. This is also Brinstar, even though it's separated by Meridia.
That's pretty sneaky. I like that. That's a smart call. I hadn't really thought about it that way, but even though he's not going to pick up Varia, he is going to have to kill Kraid. So that's a smart way of getting an extra minute in there or so for your opponent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm
maybe
really impressed with both
more.
of them. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe more than a minute, but it does work nicely for beeps too because his missile recharge station is right here anyway, so he had to come this far, just a little bit further to go kill Kraid.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, yeah. Basically, he was able to kind of get some efficient routing in there. But I'm really impressed, as I was saying a minute ago, with both of these runners. I think they both selected good columns. I mean, both of them have some significant challenges to them. So this is really fun to watch.
And a really nice Kraid quick kill from BPS.
Wrapping it up quickly, and now instead of grabbing the various suit, he's on his way out.
Yeah, luckily in the vanilla game, gravity protects you from heat, so he won't have to worry about hell runs at all. He can go straight through to speed, pick up ice on the way out, and head to Meridia. He'll probably pick up some of the missiles in Bubble Mountain as well. It's a very dense area. He'll get probably the speed ones, high jump ones, and he might even go get the reserved ones because there's a couple there.
I got to shout out Mass real quick. He was setting up for the speed booster entry into Fantoon until he remembered that he does not have speed booster. It's really funny how things like that happen, both in dab and in like randomizers and stuff.
Yeah, I've tried for a good 5 or 6 minutes in the practice ROM to get a short charge before realizing I didn't have speed booster equipped.
I guess that's better than having an item and not realizing you have it and not using it. I've done that with randos before with like space jump and stuff.
Yeah, or you turn off ice and then spend the rest of the time looking for speed because you forgot you had ice and need to do the Zeb skip.
Exactly. Speaking of the ice beam, Beeps is going to be picking up his nice beam. Val Kilmer's favorite beam.
Val Kilmer can be my wingman.
I feel the same way. So Mass getting ready to wrap up his Fantoon fight here. Probably in the next round would be my guess. I think he's going to get a few more missiles in and then try to close with a super. We'll see what happens here. I haven't really been counting very closely, so I don't know exactly. Okay, he's good. Yeah, nice. I don't like to go off topic too much. I like to usually keep my commentary pretty, on the race. But speaking of Val Kilmer, I will point out one thing very quickly. I saw a poll on Twitter the other day that was talking about ranking the Batmans that people had played Batman in movies, and they had Val Kilmer as the worst. What are people thinking if they put Val Kilmer as the worst Batman? Clearly, it's got to be George Clooney or Ben Affleck. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a winner in any of those, to be quite honest.
Val Kilmer is not the best Batman, but in no way is he the worst Batman, and I'm willing to die on that hill. I'm just saying.
MassHesteria will have to be a little bit careful here because, as you said, he's used to doing this portion of the game with Varia, and these enemies and spikes are going to do a lot more damage than normal. And he doesn't have speed. I don't know if he usually does the speed strats for Attic, but you'll have to do something else this time.
He just realized he's getting low on super, so he's going to start using regular missiles to wrap up some of that. So very good. He also has grapple though, so he can get across those spikes if he needs.
That's true. Except for that last super that he switched and used.
Yeah, he used supers on all of the atoms, and then pop supers into, or excuse me, use supers on all the atoms, and then use the regular missiles on the key hunter. But I think he'll be okay. You know, he can farm back up on some cax later if he needs to.
And I believe. Wait a minute. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was going to say Beeps picked up Ice Beam, but he's not doing row 2, which would be a lot more collection than column 2. So he'll be fine.
Yeah, what exactly does Beeps have left to do? We know he's got to return to Waterway, but he also has to get Spring Ball, and he's got to be closing in on the 100 missiles.
Yeah, I think he's close. I haven't been counting very much, but I think he's close. And then he's basically got to go get Spring Ball, and then head back and get Waterway E-Tank, and that'll be it.
So he's getting pretty close then. He's going to grab the speed booster. He's going to head to Meridia to grab the Spring Ball, and then he'll go back, as Rumble mentioned, and get the Waterway E-Tank, and he'll be finished. Mass, in the meantime, going to grab his gravity suit, his frog suit here, and get ready to not only have water movement, but also heat protection. And so let's take a look. What all does he have left to do here?
Well, he's got a lot of energy tanks to pick up. So he's going to have to go and do Brinstar cleanup. And he does remember to go back and get this wreck ship E-Tank as well, which would have been a big backtrack had he forgotten that. So he's going to go get this E-Tank, run through Brinstar, collect all of the Brinstar energy tanks, and then go to Meridia. I'm guessing go to Meridia and pick up Botwoon and Mama Turtle E-Tank before going to finish in Kraid's room and pick up the reserve on the way.
Yeah, he's also got to grab that reserve in Meridia. So, yeah, that sounds exactly like what he's about to do.
Yeah, the good news.
Beep's heading through Frog Speedway here. For the uninitiated out there, if you're ever wanting to learn the names of the different creatures in this game, if you don't know what a creature is, just call it a frog.
It's pretty good. There's MassHesteria getting the frog tank from the frog statue and going over the frog platforms.
Yeah, making use of that frog suit.
Yeah.
And Beep's now breaking the Meridia tube here. And I guess he's just going to go straight across would be my my guess here to get to the old Spring Ball here.
Yep, he's got his missiles. Just needs to pick up Spring Ball. That trick can be hard, but I expect Beeps will get it fairly quickly.
Yeah, I think it's a trick he's pretty comfortable with. However, I will say it's even when you're comfortable with it, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get it immediately. Sometimes you just don't have the right rhythm for a trick, and it takes a few tries. So, but he's in good shape. He should be able to wrap this up fairly quickly. I like him using the ice beam here to freeze these little baby shrimp that I think they're called Avirs, and to use them as platforms through that room. That's very effective. He's got another room filled with the Avir he's got to go through.
Yeah, this room is terrible without space jump. The sand pulling you down. It just has really weird physics.
Yeah, it's very strange. But here we go.
Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about how he's going to set this up?
Well, he's probably, everybody does it differently, but he's going to freeze this little Puyo here and jump up. I wonder if he's going to clip the camera. There's many ways to do this. I do like probably the most sort of beginner friendly method, just because this is not a trick I do a ton. But anyway, he's going to freeze this Puyo and then jump up there. And then there's a Puyo up there who he has to freeze in a very specific and part of its animation. which will put him, yeah, okay. So, yeah, Beeps is here. So he's going to try to freeze this Puyo in a certain part of the animation and then clip through it. He's going to try to jump on top of it and then clip through that ceiling. He did not get it this time. So let's see. He's going to try again. I don't think that's going to work either. So he's probably going to have to wait for it to jump back up there.
Yeah, there's a 1 frame window to get that Puyo frozen. And all you can do after you freeze it, if it's wrong, is just wait.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, this method he's using here to wait for it to jump back up there, I've seen several people do this. This is a great method. Personally, I don't have any experience with it. I'm just, if I don't get it, I just exit the room and reload the room. I've found for me personally, it's about the same amount of time. And plus I know roughly what it's supposed to feel like. So looks like he's going to have to do that here.
Oh, is it 2 frames? It's pixel perfect, not frame perfect. So there's, I guess, a few animation frames that it can be that are all the same height.
Pixel perfect, frame perfect. It's all the same thing, right? It's a hard trick. Yeah, exactly. It's frog perfect. In my mind, it's just hard. That's it. Yeah, he's got it now.
There you go.
Got it.
Nicely done.
So now we'll get the old shack tool. Hurry up and wait part of the run.
Yeah, it's a good spot to practice your bomb jumps.
Yeah, Beeps showing himself to be a true speedrunner, using his time efficiently.
And I do know for a fact that Beeps will not kill Shack Tool. I believe he's a Shack Tool fan, so.
That's cool. I try not to kill Shack Tool as well. Now, the animals, on the other hand, I have no sympathy for, but Shack Tool didn't do anything wrong.
Kip, if there was a low percent category that got Spring Ball instead of Ice Beam, would that be your favorite category?
Probably not. But it would probably be Sloter's favorite.
That would be Sloter's favorite category.
Spring Ball is definitely a cool item, but considering that my, probably most run categories are ones that do not use it, I was sort of a late bloomer. My love for Spring Ball was a late bloomer.
And Beep's putting Spring Ball to good use in this room.
I like it. MassHesteria over here doing some collection in green Brinstar, and then he'll do pink Brinstar next, which is obviously a big part of him having to collect a bunch of E-Tanks and whatnot, and power bombs as well. He can get all 25 of his power bombs in Brinstar.
Yep. Beeps has the Waterway E-Tank left. He didn't have speed when he went through Brinstar. And also on MassHesteria's power weapons, he actually got Croc PBs, so he can skip one of the Brinstar PBs, and I believe he skipped Beta, so he'll be picking up the rest of the ones in Big Pink.
Ah, gotcha. That makes sense.
And
although he's going backwards here. He's going backwards.
He already got he already got them. He needed the. I think he fell down the pit.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, so Beep should be done here in about maybe 30 seconds or so. 30 or 40 seconds. He's just got to head up Green Hills and back to Pink Brinstar and use some power bombs to get down to...
He does have 65 tries, 68 tries actually at this gate glitch here. Oh, 66 now. Got a missile drop. There he goes. 5th first try.
Mass heading in here to grab some power bombs in here. The what a lot of people refer to as the Mission Impossible power bombs. And looks like Beeps is going to wrap this up. Rumble, why don't you give us the official announcement?
Beeps finishing in style with a nice speedball through the blocks and picking up the energy tank, finishing in an official SRL time of 44:57. GG Beeps, nicely done. Congratulations. I love speedballs. Any speedball in the game is like a highlight for me.
I agree. Great swag way to close out the run, and well done by Beeps. He did a great job. Made some really good decisions and executed well. Did some tough tricks. So good job. He will continue to the next round of the losers bracket, and that means that for MassHesteria, that is going to be his. This is going to be his last race of the tournament. But Mass did win 2 matches, so he's going to close this tournament at 2-2, which I think is a really fantastic record. So great race here between absolutely. 2 good runners. And do we have Beeps in here?
We do have Beeps. Hey, Beeps, GG. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, congratulations, Beeps. You had a great run. Tell us a little bit about, when you got assigned column 5, I'm sure you kind of looked over the rest of the card and figured out some different options for how you wanted to approach it. So why did you decide to go the direction?
So I guess I'll start off with like the very beginning. When I saw the card, I'm going to just start with saying I chose column 1 because I got destroyed in my first race by an 11 plus E-Tank tile or 10 plus E-Tank, something like that. So that's why I chose that. So when I got column 5, I went and looked at column 4 initially, or not column 4, the one with row 4, there we go. I was looking at that one because I knew how to do early X-ray. I can do everything else there. It's basically free. But then I noticed column 2 has a lot of the similar things in it, and I wanted to get Brinstar Reserve anyway, and it threw me in the same area, so I may as well go with that instead, because it's slightly faster.
Yeah, I think that was a good call. I also really like the 11 plus energy E-Tank row or column to give, especially combined with skip speed booster, right? Which means it's actually like there's very few E-Tanks that you can skip at that point.
Because the skip speed booster, I think the only one it affect is Waterway, but you still have to. That's one E-Tank that would be not too bad to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I thought you made some really good decisions. We were talking about how you're very familiar with a lot of different types of runs and tricks, and you've done a lot of randos. But even with that being the case, this game is really tough, and a lot of these tricks can be very difficult to get. Walk us through a little bit about, like, how do you normally do your ice clip method? And, I know you're comfortable doing it in terms of you've done it before, but clearly it's still something that can give people trouble. So what'd you think about that?
So ice clip, I wanted to get X-ray just so I can do a free ice clip, but I decided to just drop the early X-ray pretty early because I figured it wasn't going to be worth the time I was spending to get there. So, yeah, I abandoned that idea, and then I did kind of the hundo ice clip that you do. Like, that's really fast, but I'm just not really good at ice clipping, so that's why I don't run hundo, partly.
Well, you could join me and just refuse to do the ice clip route in hundo, Beeps. I mean, it's a lot more comfortable.
I mean, yeah, but I love doing the plasma on Crocomire. That's probably the best part of the whole thing.
I feel you.
Well, just skip Croc and get grapple without killing Croc.
Oh yeah, I do Croc skip.
Yeah, I was gonna say if somebody could do that, it's probably Beeps. So BPS, you'll be going, forward in this tournament, and I don't have it in front of me. Do you happen to know, or can we pull it up real quick? Who is going to be potentially your next opponent here?
Yeah, I'm taking a look right now. Let's see here. So, looks like you are up against White Mage Becky.
Oh dang!
That's going to be a really good match.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. And the winner of that one gets to race Sweetnum. So,
oh wow!
You know, I think at this point in the tournament, there's no easy matches left, really.
No, there's no way to have an easy match left in this tournament.
Like
Just because.
yeah, I'm
Oh, go
scrolling
ahead.
through I'm scrolling through the losers bracket, right? And it's Farrell, Cutie, Balthazar, Asder, Sweetnum, Becky, Cross Product. Ooh, that's rough.
Yep, definitely. But that's what makes these tournaments fun, you know? It's like I really enjoy getting to watch the newer runners sort of experience, you know, their first or maybe second tournament and get some good competition in. And then, you know, as time goes on and some of the, you know, top tier runners sort of separate themselves from everybody else, it's fun to watch them race each other. So should be a good time. And Beeps, you know, you've had a bunch of good races, man. So congratulations again. And if there's anything else you'd like to talk about, man, feel free.
I mean,
I
I
will.
guess.
Sorry, Beeps, go ahead.
So, I could talk about just the card in general. I mean, I was looking at column 4 to give because there's the defeat Ridley and 125 missiles. I feel like that wouldn't have been a terrible one to give, but everything else is kind of easy on that specific column. I imagine y'all probably talked quite a bit about the card and what you would have given and stuff like that, but it's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, there were a few good choices. I liked both the columns that you both gave. I thought row 5 actually was pretty good too. 3 reserves, spring ball, 125 missiles, destroy statue. I really liked, honestly, the column 1. Like the 11 E tanks plus skipping speed, it just sends you all over the map. So, especially with 3+ reserves and skipping speed, you know they have to get the Meridia reserve, which means they have to get gravity. The only downside to it was if you looked at column or row 2, it was basically free if you could do wreck ship first. It had all of the same things in it. MassHesteria decided to go down and do some hell runs and get movement items and then come back up, which I think was a good choice for him. But I'm curious how much faster it would have been for somebody that could do wreck ship first.
And when I was planning it, I noticed that, but I figured the time loss from just column 1 is big enough that it just counteract that whole thing. That's kind of what I figured when assigning it.
I'm also partial to any tiles that say skip high jump boots because that throws off movement to everybody. But there wasn't really anything that went through the middle that seemed terrible when I looked at it.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. Because just high jump is such a great item to have. Because you can get a ton of stuff with it. And
yeah, high jump boot's a very powerful item. I've argued this for a long time, but I would call it the single most powerful item in terms of just like the ability to make people feel comfortable with control over Samus, because, you know, the vast majority of people that play this game have the high jump boots, you know, through most of their runs. So when you don't have them, even if you know how to get around, it's still a lot slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially both high jumps and speed. Actually, thinking about it again, that middle row actually is pretty bad. You have to skip high jump and speed, which are the 2 main movement items that everybody gets.
Dude, that sounds like a dream to me. What are you talking
about? You also have to get
100%. It's best.
All right, our next dab race, Kip, you can run low percent, and I'll just do dab.
Okay, sounds good. Do I have to beat Mother Brain? Like, how far do I have to go?
Yeah, you have to finish. That's everything.
Oh, that's not fair.
Your tile is just collect 14 items, kill Mother Brain, escape the planet.
That's not very fair. But no, I mean, you know, even for people who run low ice or other low percent categories, you know, and there's a lot of people who do randos that have, you know, completed many runs without high jump boots. But the key here is it's not about necessarily, you know, your ability to complete it. Everybody can complete it. It's just how fast are you going to be able to go? And most people move significantly faster when they have the full array of, you know, high jump boots and speed booster, because they're just accustomed to it.
Yeah, and again, MassHesteria, I think initially forgot he didn't have speed again. Forgot he had to do the ice clip, but goes through. That ice clip is pretty easy. All you have to do is crouch down and let the Metroid attach to you, freeze it, and then you can just do a jump, aim down, and then jump through the pipe there.
The pixel perfect crouch.
A free pixel perfect trick. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrapped up that Botswoon fight pretty quickly, considering he didn't have very many supers, so that was good. Got all 5 of his supers in, and then got a few missiles and charge shot.
Yep, this will be his 11th E-Tank, so that'll wrap that up. And all he has left to do is head down through the pit. Oh, wait, does he have? Oh, he has 25 plus power bombs. Okay. He just needs to head down through the sand pit, picking up the reserve, and then heading to Kraid's room, and then he is done.
Nice. Very good run, in my opinion, for Mass, especially considering like the way he approached it and what he's comfortable with. We've talked extensively about this, but again, I always think it's better to do something you know you can do than to try a bunch of stuff you've never tried before. So I like the way he decided to go about approaching this one. But this was a tough card, you know. Beeps, I can't remember if you already mentioned it, but another kind of sneaky part of that 3+ reserve tank and not getting speed booster is that means you have to pick up every reserve tank except for the one in wrecked ship. So you know, the Meridian one's kind of slow to get to, and I think that was a good call on your part.
I'll be honest, I didn't think of that much. I didn't think that far into that. I mean, I just saw
just take some credit for it, okay? Just take some credit.
Okay. Yeah, I saw skip speed booster, which is pretty bad, and all the E-Tanks in reserve. So it's like, you know what? That seems pretty good.
Yeah, and especially for a runner like Mass, who would likely go get speed booster before going to wreck ship anyway. Because if you're going to do that, then the wreck ship reserve is way more on the way than going through the sand pit in most cases. But if if somebody's going to wreck ship first, then the wreck ship reserve probably wouldn't factor into it anyway. You can do it, Mass. Just do an Alcatraz up there.
You know, you can do that, can't you?
Yep.
I forgot about that. I saw somebody do that one time, and I was very impressed. I've only double bomb jumped here, but yeah, it's kind of a tricky, height to try to get in. It's hard to jump and turn into a ball. It's usually best to just do an infinite bomb jump.
There he goes. He's got it.
So I'd like to point out on Beep's screen here real quick as Mass makes his way down to grab the last reserve tank and then to Kraid. This dance move the Decora's doing here, whatever this is, I'm gonna next time I go out dancing, I'm gonna try that move. And when people ask me what I'm doing, I'm gonna be like, "This is called the Decora."
I think it's technically the Decora Shuffle.
Hey, I like it. The Decora Shuffle sounds good.
Yeah, he's turning every frame, so good luck.
So you just have to spin 60 times a second, Kip. You got it.
Hey, I'm a pretty fast dancer now. I know nobody's ever seen it because, you know, on stream I'm just playing Super Metroid, but I think I might could pull this off.
All I hear is there's going to be a Kip dancing stream soon.
I can't make it look as good as the Decora. I mean, who could? But, you know, I'll give it a try. So Mass now back in Business Center, and he's going to make his way over to Bubble Mountain once again. This time he's got his Ice Beam, and he does not take any damage because of his gravity suit. So a much more comfortable run here. And I assume he'll use his Ice Beam to freeze some of the waivers to get up to that reserve room up there to the top left.
Yeah, I forgot he hadn't picked up this reserve yet, so he does need to come back here and get this. Well, while Mass is finishing up, I'll just give a call out to the races that are coming up. This is the only dab race today, but we do have 2 races tomorrow. One at 5 o'clock p.m. J-Chalk versus Iora. I don't think they have channels yet, but they will have channels soon. So be on the lookout for that one. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern Time is P12 versus Messer. And then Friday, your Friday evening dab race, we have the Spring Ball low percent champion as soon as he can figure out a way to do it with only 14 items. Sloters 27 versus Canadian Owl at 7 p.m. Eastern. Shout outs to Canadian Owl, who has been doing really well in this tournament. It's been very impressive.
Yeah, that's a top 8 winners bracket match, if I recall correctly. So whoever wins that will make the final 4 of the winners bracket.
Yeah, that is a pretty exclusive company, I must say.
It is. Right now, we've got Rumbleman's here, my co-commentator. He has made the final 4 already of the winners bracket, so congratulations, Rumble. And then the winner between Sloters and Canadian Owl will also make it. And then I believe TG Derp is our other representative.
Yep.
And oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just confirming.
Yeah, so Derp's already in there, and then the last person to make the final 4, it's probably going to be a while because technically I'm still in the running for that. My next match is a top 8 match, but I have not had a race in 23 days, and I still don't have an opponent. So I'm not sure who I'm going to have to race yet for that to happen, but we'll get to it soon, and then we'll see who the final 4 people are going to be. So, but I'm looking forward to watching whoever makes it to all these matches. We got some really good races coming up into the meat of this tournament.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot with these double elimination tournaments. The winners bracket sort of gets very excited and moves out ahead of the losers bracket, and then we're sort of we the audience are sort of left waiting for the matches to catch up before we get our top 8 and top 4 matches.
All right, and GG to MassHesteria. He has done with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 29 seconds. I don't believe he's going to come in for an interview, so that will conclude his tournament experience. But once again, a fantastic tournament for MassHesteria. His first dab tournament, and I think only his second Super Metroid tournament of all time. Finished with a record of 2-2, so he did a great job. And losing to BluePlasmaSpark is something that a lot of runners have done. So GG to him and to Beeps as well. We look forward to seeing Beeps in his next race against, I believe, White Mage Becky. So that'll be fun. So yeah, Rumble, thank you so much for doing commentary with me or allowing me to do it with you. I'll go ahead and sign off and say goodnight. Thank you, chat.
Wow.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Rumble, you have anything you'd like to close with?
Well, it does look like Mass is going to join for interview. So if you want to stick around for that, you can. You don't have to.
Okay. Well, it looked like he wasn't going to, based on the chat in the race channel. But it looks like he's here now. Mass, are you there?
Yeah. Hey guys.
Hey, Mass. GG.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Rumble.
That looked like a row almost tailored to make you run all over the place.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking on that. I think I committed too early to row 2.
Well, I commented at the start of the race that aside from collect only one of Varia or Gravity, row 2 was basically free. Like it was an overlap of all of your other stuff you already had to do. But only collecting one of Varia or Gravity does add a lot of difficulty to the rest of your run.
Yeah. I mean, especially I might should have spent time figuring out how to get across the moat, but I just sort of committed myself in the tournament saying I'm going to go down first and get whatever I can to get over. So, oh well.
Yeah, it's not a bad strategy at all. I mean, I think it served you well up to this point. So I certainly can understand wanting to do that. But you had a really, really great tournament. I mean, you went 2-2, and you raced against, your 2 losses were against 2 really good runners, Sloters and BluePlasmaSpark. So tell us a little bit about just the overall experience in the tournament. Did you have fun, and what do you think about Dab?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. As you know, you kind of turned me on to the idea a little while back, and at first I was like, well, I don't really know anything about this tournament, or about the format, and so I kind of had to get spun up a couple weeks beforehand. It's a lot of fun. I'd like it. I mean, I think if they do dab tournaments in the future, I'll definitely do it again. I think everybody should.
I agree, and I think you're sort of an example for anybody out there who's interested in Super Metroid, even if you don't have a ton of experience or if you're just kind of new to the game or want to get into it. I'd really encourage everybody out there to participate in our community tournaments. They're a lot of fun. You know, everybody gets along and has a good time together, and you learn a lot along the way. So I was really happy to see you, be in this tournament. Yeah, any kind of last thing you want to say about this particular card or the race tonight, or just in general, Mass?
No, not too much. GG, BPS. I'm not sure if you're on or not.
Yeah, GG to you as well.
Yeah.
Thanks
Nice
for the
job.
race.
Yeah, nice job picking that column. That got me pretty good. So,
Are you gonna practice your early rec ship CWJ route for the next DAB tournament?
yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, when the next one shows up, I figure we got a year or so maybe, but yeah, I'll definitely have that in. I think it's back to Hundo after this. So
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And while I'm here, I got to, as I mentioned before, Mass is one of my IRL friends, and I got to give a quick shout out and show some love to Lauren and Penny out there. Hope you guys enjoyed the race. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Rumble, I'll let you close us out. Beeps and Mass, thank y'all so much for joining us for a commentary, or I guess for an interview. And thanks again to chat out there. It was a great time. And Rumble, thanks again, man. You can close us out.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kip. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, SpeedGaming, for restreaming and handling all of that. Make sure you guys give these runners a follow. Make sure you catch the rest of the DAB matches. A lot of good matches left to come. Very exciting things coming up. That's everything I've got. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and I will see you all tomorrow.